Once a month, in the shadowy corners of my grandfather's village, the farmers gathered for the market, a day that was more than just a bustling exchange of produce. The air is always thick with anticipation, not only for the deals made under the swaying palms but for the secretive visits between relatives from the surrounding villages. This market day was the perfect cover for what I had planned, a visit to the mysterious house by the riverside, a place whispered about in hushed tones, where reality twisted into the unknown. I had been careful, or so I thought. My steps were deliberate, my intentions concealed beneath the guise of youthful curiosity. But my grandfather, ever the watchful guardian, had been observing me with a vigilance I hadn't noticed. After my first visit to the house by the riverside, something inexplicable began to happen. Late one night, he noticed an eerie glow emanating from the room where I slept. The light wasn't from a lantern or the moon's gentle caress, it was coming from my eyes. Despite being in deep sleep, rays of light from my eyes pierced the darkness. My grandfather, shocked but silent, kept this secret to himself, fearing the truth of what might have transpired. He pondered over the matter for a while and rightly concluded that I must have visited the mysterious house and have a supernatural experience during my visit. The strange phenomenon became more pronounced after my second visit to the house. Not only did my eyes emit light, my whole body sometimes get enveloped with green light and some streaks of lightning. One night, my grandfather came as usual and saw that my palms and the soles of my feet began to glow with an intense, fiery red hue. Yet, when he touched them, they were cool to the touch, as if the light was a mere illusion. With these signs, my grandfather's suspicions hardened into certainty. I had encountered something beyond the natural world. He began to watch me more closely, his concern deepening with every passing day. The market day approached again, and I seized the opportunity. Under the guise of excitement shared with my siblings that we want to go to the market, I followed into the throng, only to disappear into the maze of people and head straight for the house by the river. Believing I was alone and unnoticed, I walked briskly, the weight of anticipation and fear growing with every step. But my grandfather, ever the silent shadow, was following me, his presence hidden from my vigilant glances over my shoulder. The house loomed ahead, an ancient structure twisted by time, its walls a labyrinthine maze that ensnared any who dared to enter. I slipped inside, my heart pounding as I made my way to the room where the three ghosts awaited. They were there, as I had expected, their spectral forms shimmering in the dim light. But as I stood before them, I felt a presence, as if there is another silent observer, apart from the three ghosts. My grandfather had followed, but he got lost within the winding halls. The house had claimed him, leading him astray within its twisting passages. One of the ghosts, the third, spoke in a voice that was more a whisper on the wind than a sound. The air around me suddenly changed as it has happened in the past, and the room dissolving into an enchanted forest with a river winding through it. The forest was somehow alive with the sounds of unseen creatures, and along the riverbank, lamps flickered like the souls of the lost. I walked along, the path ahead shrouded in mystery, and every step led me deeper into the unknown. The forest opened into a clearing, where strange, mushroom-shaped houses stood, illuminated from within by an unearthly glow. Music, haunting and melodic, drifted from the houses, but no figures emerged. As I approached the nearest house, a hand, if it could be called that, extended from the darkness within, offering me a coin. The hand was not human, its skin dark and smooth, its fingers unnaturally long. I hesitated initially but then took the coin, and a cold shiver ran through me. None of the other houses opened to my knock, and so I continued moving around, and at a point I saw a stairway which leading to a garden. The garden was bathed in otherworldly light. Butterflies, too vibrant, flitted among the flowers. I wandered through the garden, intoxicated by the scent and the surreal beauty, until I reached the end of the path. There, waiting for me, was a boat, a vessel of dark wood, weathered and ancient. I knew, without being told, that the coin was the fare to cross the river. As I approached the boat, a skeletal hand emerged from the shadows, reaching out expectantly. The coin slipped from my trembling fingers and fell on the ground, but the hand caught it with inhuman speed. Afterwards, I stepped into the boat, and it began its journey across the river. The waters churned as a storm raged around us, yet the boat moved with a purpose, as if guided by a force unseen. On the other side, I disembarked into another garden, this one more bizarre than the last. The trees bore fruit with metallic keys protruding from them, each one unique in its design and length. As I stood there, a being with 2 wings, that looked neither angelic nor demonic, descended beside me. It introduced itself as the keeper of the Garden of Keys, and its voice echoing in my mind rather than through the air. He made it clear to me that I can only pluck a fruit and take its key. The challenge was clear: choose one key, and choose wisely. My grandfather's voice echoed in my memory, a lesson from long ago. Small things, he said, often carry great weight. I looked around and selected the smallest key, barely visible among the others. As soon as I did, a whirlwind enveloped me, transporting me to a place of shadows and ticking time. I found myself before a massive clock, its hands frozen at 10 minutes past 10. A woman, chained beside it, which I had seen earlier, raised her head as I approached. Her hope flickered in her eyes. I knew instinctively that the key was meant to free her, but as I drew nearer, the distance between us seemed to stretch impossibly. Desperate to help her, I threw the key towards her, but before it could reach her, a great eagle appeared in the air, swooped down, snatching it before it got to her. The eagle circled the clock, the key clutched in its talons, before releasing the key from a great height. The key went down straight and struck the woman, shattering her chains with a sound like thunder. She immediately stepped away from the clock, her face a mixture of relief and newfound strength. The scene around us instantly shifted, and we were back in the room where the ghosts had awaited me. But now, instead of ghosts, there were 3 beautiful women, and the freed woman became the 4th. I tried to move out of great fear, but my legs felt as if they were made of lead, unable to lift me from the spot. The 4 women embraced each other, their forms melding together as they held each other in a timeless moment. Then, as one, they turned to face me. The woman I had freed stepped forward, her voice calm but filled with the weight of what she was about to reveal. What she told me shook the foundations of my understanding, unveiling truths that would change everything I thought I knew.